What am I doing? Alright, let's do this patch notes breakdown. Today we're going to talk about the Halloween update. So we got patch 0.8. Let's see. It's going to be released tomorrow. And we got two champions. We got Jumong, Rukon. Jumong was like old Seeker in BLC, so we got the video. I don't know his abilities yet, but you know, he's really sick in okay, I gotta turn my follower notifications off. He's really sick in BLC, man. Really strong pick. And then we have Rukon, which is a remake from Harbinger from BLC. And this was probably my favorite solo queue champion. He was what's it called? He was like self-sustain, and so in solo queue he was really good because you could dish out the damage. He had like a ranged kind of poke to him, and then you could also you know, be self-sufficient and heal yourself. So it was really cool. This map looks sick. I'm a big fan of blues, so Blackstone Arena Night. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Battle Wolf mount, sick. Halloween content. More skins the better, man. More skins the better. I'm all about the skins, man. Obviously, there's a new chest, Halloween chest. So if you're saving your coins, get it up, man. Get it up. Follow the Steam group, get a chest. Maybe we'll have to buy some chests tomorrow, man. We'll have to buy some chests. This is kind of a big deal, the standard, the matchmaking, the unranked and ranked queues. So basically you can queue for 2s or 3s. This is for ranked, right? And then, you know, I don't know what the algorithm is, but you can, you know, it'll either place you in a 3s match or a 2s match based on whatever their filter range is. And then they're also adding an unranked queue, which a lot of people ask for, so you know, Sunlock listens to the community, man. So it's really good that they're doing this because it allows people that have ladder anxiety to play a lot more often, right? And it also allows you to pick a different champion and play it out and learn that champion without affecting other people. So then with this, people are worried about splitting the player base, but so unranked players after a certain amount of time could be matched with ranked players. So there is definitely room there for abuse, but it's also, I think it's a good thing overall, man. Only time will tell. Time will tell. So we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, let's go to the champion updates. We got Rook. I'm not a DPS player, but is this? Can I make it bigger? Does that help? Yeah, let's do that, man. Rook is... I thought Rook was good to begin with. Me and Daniel were playing, you know, 2s, and Rook seemed pretty fine, man. And this is at the higher level. I don't know. My opinion's going to be jaded for, like, the higher rating, so I don't know how he is in lower rating, if he was OP or if he was not played that much. But I always said, even when, you know, people asked on my stream that... people always thought that Rook was the weakest, but I just told everyone that Rook is the newest champion, so that means he's like the least played, and that means people aren't used to him or they haven't figured out like the play style or how to play him. And so, you know, this past couple weeks we've seen a lot more Rooks being played at the high rating. People have gone to like 45, 4600 in plus on the ladder, and so it can be done, man. So it's not like he was unplayable. So now we're seeing the different... Looks like they changed a lot of his Battlerite trees. So let's just go over like the actual changes to his kit. So he no longer uses weapon charges before you hit like 3 M1s, and then you hit M2, and you would have got extra damage. I guess we could look here. Let's do this. So the way that Rook is now is you do 3 M1s, M1 is 10 damage, and then you do your right click, and then you get the bonus damage per charge, and then if you're fully charged, you get that armor break, and that armor break is really part of Rook's playstyle, because it's like 20% damage increase on all damage when you have armor break. So it's like huge to get your armor break on people, right? So now you no longer have the weapon charges, so I'm guessing you don't have to get the 3 M1s. Now your M1s do reduce the cooldown of your M2 by 0.5 seconds. So what's the cooldown right now? The cooldown is 2.5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M1s will reduce the cooldown, right? But an M1 is 0.35 seconds. Holy shit, I'm not doing that math. Anyways, you probably have to hit 2 or 3 M1s before you can M2, right? Before the cooldown comes off. Unless they change something with the cooldown. So, Crushing Blow now causes Rook to leap in the air, strike down with this hammer, dealing 16 damage. What the? So, you don't have to worry about... You don't have to worry about getting the M1 charges anymore to get the armor break. You just get the armor break. What the... And you get an invulnerability frame, right? And that was one thing that Rook was really hard to... That was really hard for Rook when it came to like mitigating damage. Like you had to get your counter proc to get that invulnerability frame, but now you get it on his M2, which is a 2.5 second cooldown, which is reduced by his M1s. Holy shit. That's really good, man. That's really good. And you get the armor break without having to get your stacks. Rook is seeming pretty good so far. Holy shit. Meat Bolt now allows Rook to move while casting. That's just quality of life. It's always good to cast and stuff. So I think maybe the cooldown needs to be increased on M2 or something, because that change alone is kind of ridiculous. Alright, so let's look at his new Battlerite trees. Take what I say about DPS with a grain of salt, because, you know, I'm a support player, so my interactions with these classes are on the opposite side, you know, playing against them or healing them, which this doesn't really help. But so Landing Rush allows you to recast it for 2.5 seconds, so you space. It's your space where you just rush forward, you do 12 to 24 damage, and stun. So this would allow you to hit it twice. I think rush is kind of hard to land as it is, right? The actual, like, the charge is kind of, has like a small hitbox, but if you do land it, I guess this allows you to be more mobile or do, you know, double stun. So it could be interesting, man. Berserk duration increased by 1 second. Take damage during Berserk is reduced by 50%. So you get Berserk by getting your counter hit. Is that it? So this is basically like Giant is like increasing your counter. Squash, Crushing Blow stuns all enemies hit for 0.5 seconds. What's Crushing Blow? Your M2. So you get like a mini stun. So you go like space route. It gives you mobility. More CC. Let's see. Because kind of like right now, let's say I'm playing Lucy, right? And I see a, if I see Rook space, that means he has no outs, right? Because I can just goo him, right? And throw a clarity potion and knock him in the goo. But now if it's a little more outplayish where he can like use a space. If he hits someone, then he can like space out. So, you know. But it's in 2.5 seconds. What's the best one here, do you guys think? I don't know. I really don't. Time will tell on these guys. Time will tell. So, round 2, Landing Rush causes you into a Berserk. I think this one's the best. I think this is what everyone's getting right now. So, I guess it depends on everything else. But getting your Berserk and getting your counter proc, that was the only way. But with this, now you land your space, you get your Berserk. So, that's really good. Berserk does a lot of damage. It does, let's see. Berserk duration 3 seconds. Increases attack speed, movement speed, and makes you temper invulnerable. Berserk makes you invulnerable, or just hitting your counter makes you invulnerable? I'm pretty sure, right? Bullet toss reduced by 2 seconds. Knockback distance is good for control. It's good for zoning. What's cooldown right now? 6 seconds, so it's a 4-second spammable ability with a huge knockback probably. Landing smack automatically triggers. Dude, I think this is really good for survivability at least. Because isn't it now you're like getting double value on your R? It's kind of crazy. So, because before you would have to what? Spend 50 energy to get this, right? You'd have to spend 25 energy to get the 16 health plus 24, and then you'd have to spend 25 energy for your smack. So now if you have this talent, you get the smack and then you get the extra health regen. So that increases his survivability and his energy gain. So I think with Frenzy, you're probably going to get Landing Rush, and then you just get the massive Berserk, you know. What is the stun, actually? Holy shit. Stun is half a second. The cast time is 0.7 seconds. So that means if you land a stun, you're going to Berserk for 1.5 seconds, and then you're going to be able to space again and Berserk again. That seems really good. I'm going to let the Rook mains actually figure out what's the best, but it seems like he has a lot more options now, you know what I mean? Alright, so we have Boulder Toss, does 4 damage. You know, it looks like a lot of these synergize, like the Crag, and then the Crumble synergizes really well, right? Armor Break synergizes with, you know, what is it? Crushing Blow. Boulder Toss deals 4 damage. Enemies affected by Armor Break deal 20% less damage. Berserk movement speed increase. Enemies affected by Armor Break deal 20% less damage. Berserk movement speed increase. This one is probably going with, right? It seems like everything's going to be around Berserk, because Berserk is so good. That's how you get like your super damage off, is getting your Berserk into M1s, into M2s. So this will just allow you to stick on targets a lot more. This is obviously like survivability, and then this is just synergistic with other stuff. Round 4, we have Pummel Hits, reduce the cooldown of Rush by 5 seconds, synergizes with your other space abilities. Casting Berserk reduces nearby enemies' movement by 50%. Huh, that's kind of cool, man. Just mechanic wise, that just sounds pretty cool. Like, so you get your space, and you do a war cry, and it reduces like an AoE movement speed. Holy. I feel like with a certain build, you're gonna be sick. Like, sticking power wise, you know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of crazy. Then you have like your survivability, 15%. And then your ultimate things, which I don't think people ever really use a lot of stuff, but okay. I think Rook is going to be in a really good place. I already thought that he was good, but now he just seems really good. All right, then we got Jade. All right, so then they have like a little what's it called? PSA that these Battlerites are right now. They're just doing it to get diversity in the champions, and not necessarily balance. So, you know, it's early access, so I'm okay with that, man. Hopefully they respond quickly to any problems that like an OP Battlerite does, or OP balance change does, so that we can so we not have to play against it a lot. But I'm okay with that. All right, they changed Jade, some core changes. They nerfed the ultimate by 2 for each hit, and then the area. I'm okay with that. I like how they made the area less than the actual projectile hit, so it's actually pretty easy to hit, but there's times where I get hit by the AoE, and it's like, why am I getting hit by the AoE? So at least now it's, you know, less damage. Stealth now only removes movement pairing. I like that. Now I can throw deadly injects on Jade all the time. Excuse me. And she can't remove it with stealth. That's cool. So Jade, the biggest thing here is they removed the immaterial Battlerite on round 1. So, we'll see. But I'm not a big Jade player, so but I do know that the immaterial for round 1 was godlike, you know, especially in the high tiers. So it just allowed her to play aggressive, you know, dodge stuff without using her space, you know. So now she has to use her space, and she actually has to use energy to dodge with her XQ. So, but I really like these round 1s. I think they really give her different playstyle uses based on what it is. So, stealth resets the cooldown of snipe, so you can snipe, stealth, snipe again, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a weird mechanic, right? Because as Jade, you want to like try to bait out like defensives. So you'd M2 cancel cast, M2 cancel cast. You get their trance or their space, and then you actually snipe, and then you stealth and you snipe again. It's like a lot of sniping time, right? So I don't know. Could be good. Blast Vault causes you to enter stealth for 2 seconds. It just seems like a cool, just a cool mechanic, you know. So you have like a stealth and then another stealth. It's honestly like I don't know if it's good. It just sounds cool, you know what I mean? But there's a difference between it sounding cool on paper and then playing against it and then being like cancer or something, or playing against it and it being bad. So, and disabling shot inflicts a 1.2 second rook. So I'll have to wait until High Mar, you see these really good Jade players pick and what they pick and how they play it. But it sounds like she has a lot of options, you know. So they did take away a super powerful immaterial, but you definitely have options here. Round 2, Desperado, disabling shot, loads your gun with hidden ammo. I think that was a round 1 before. It got nerfed. It was 12, right? Let's get to Jade. Jade. Where is she? Oh my god, I'm failing. Fail. Ranged? Jade, okay. Battlerites. So before it was 12 from hitting disable, now it's 10 on a round 2. Do people actually get this? I don't think anyone got this because immaterial was so strong, right? Also, at the higher levels, it's going to be really hard to hit 10 shots, you know? Stealth increases by 25%, so this obviously synergizes with your Blast Vault, obviously. And so does this one, Concussion Bomb. What the hell? I can see you taking like... Either one. I don't know, man. I think this increase to stealth is really good. Just because when you're playing a stealth class, you really want to be unpredictable, right? And so having this more movement speed, you can get along the battlefield a lot easier. So this is probably good. The stun duration increased by 1 second. It's okay. Yeah. The thing with Blast Vault now is you can't use it to be like, you can't use it as aggressively because you don't have the immaterial on stealth. Your Blast Vault has to be used for like an escape kind of now, or to dodge something. If you don't have that 25 energy for your XQ. So it's not like like before you could go super in their face and then, you know, do your combo, then and then Blast Vault out. And then if they came on you again, you could just immaterial and dodge whatever. But now it's kind of a different playstyle. So round 3, snipe deals 6 damage, synergizes with these other snipe thingies. It's better for taking the orb, gives you more damage. Obviously, if you're landing snipes, it's a lot harder to land snipes at the higher level unless you're playing with a coordinated team. So interacting deals a disabling shot, hits your 16 health, survivability. This one is kind of interesting, Black Powder. So this has like the knockback mechanics, kind of like Taya's Q, where if you knock him into the wall, it stuns him. So I can see junk shot being pretty strong on certain maps as well. You know, like the forest map where it's really small. So I don't actually know how big 25% knockback increase is. So I'll have to see it. Knocking an enemy in the wall as a stun for 1.2 seconds. Yeah, same thing. So round 4, when you hit a revolver shot, the cooldown of stealth is reduced by 25 seconds. What's the cooldown on a revolver shot? 15 seconds. Whenever you hit a revolver shot. Oh, that's a junk shot. Revolver shot. It's reduced by 25 seconds. You shoot... How many of these do you shoot? Do you shoot 6 or 4? Anyways, so it's either probably going to be Gunslinger or Slayer. Slayer is always good, but this could be good, depending, right? What, you get 6 shots, so you're reducing stealth by 3 seconds if you hit all 6. What are the chances you hit all 6, though? Round 4, while channeling split shot, take 25, whatever, same stuff. So, I don't know, you have to see. I'll have to see what the effects are. And, you know, she was really strong to begin with, so 1.5 seconds if you hit all 3? Yeah, that's what I meant. The NA math. Okay. She was strong, though, I'm pretty sure, right? She was seen, especially in 3s, you know? So, oh, Sirius, boys. Sirius. Oh, anyways, Jade. I think it's definitely like it's going to be a different play style, you know? And it's hard for me to judge what's going to happen because there's not like a super high level NA Jade player, you know? And so I'll have to like, maybe in the tourney, if there's still Jade players on Saturday, and see what they do, you know? But we'll see, man. Sirius. So Sunrise Q now also heals Sirius per default. That's really good because before on Sirius, motherfucker. Oh shit, I can't swear.
I am at dusk and gone.
Before, it just healed your allies for 12 health, right? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So now you get the heal on yourself, which, coming from BLC, is really weird that it didn't heal other people, you know? Or it didn't heal yourself when you got your transproct. Because usually, you know, you have some sort of benefit. So that's just good. It's just nice quality of life. Increases his healing. It obviously puts... Sirius is still all about his trance so far, just reading this. So, we'll see. Battlerite Lunatic. This is the Battlerite in round 1 where you can recast after a certain time. So now the recast circle is bigger. You know, I actually wasn't a big fan of this, but we played Varish versus Varish, and it was actually it's really easy to hit the immobile characters with the X space. So versus Varish is like a lot of fun, and so now it's a lot easier to hit it. So that's good, man. It just makes it a little harder to decide what Battlerite to take. They finally fixed his space. Okay, so there's this bug where if you space on your teammate, you get the 4-second cooldown reduction, but you wouldn't have it before, right? I mean, you would get that automatically as a baseline, and there's actually a Battlerite for that. So now it looks like they fixed it. That's awkward.
Live in that croak life fools.
I'll have to read that after this. So I need to turn that off, actually. I don't know if I can. Anyways. The cast time reduced from 0.3 seconds to 2.2 seconds. This is really good, man. There's so many times on Sirius where I'm trying to... You can hear me, and I'm just spamming my spacebar, and you can hear my keyboard, and it's because of this cast time. So, honestly, I'd like it to be like a 0.1 seconds or really, but we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to tell 0.3 from 0.2. Maybe, man, maybe. So we'll see. Airtime is reduced by 65 seconds, so that means it's faster, right? The distance is still the same, but the speed of which you get there is faster. That's cool, man. Yeah, right here. They fixed the cooldown reduction for Celestial Split. Okay, so round 1, you now have Crescent Strike empowers your next sunlight, causing 2 additional beams to strike the same area, healing nearest ally for 12 and 6 health. So that's 18 health for causing 2 additional beams. So that's 3 beams in total, right? So it's 14 plus 12 plus 6. Is that right? Holy. I should have done the math like ahead of time. So 18 plus 14. Yeah. Anyways, that's a lot of healing. So what, you get your M1 and then you get a huge burst in healing? That sounds pretty good, because right now when I'm playing Sirius, I'm going in, I'm getting my M1 off, and then I'm trying to get a stone off, usually like a CC, and then and then I'm healing, right? And then I'm repeating that process. It's kind of like a rotation, right? So that gives you a little bit of leeway, because before it was like, I need my trance to get hit after I go in so I can get out, or I can get that extra heal. But now it's like, instead of having to get your trance hit, you can kind of heal through damage, right? So a 32 like bomb heal after you M1, that seems really good. Then we have illumination. You illuminate self and allies, hitting what's sunrise? Sunrise. That's the heal, right? No, that's your counter. Illuminate self and cast, increasing damage out by 20%, increase healing by 20%. That's really interesting. This is like a high risk, high reward Battlerite, right? Because right now, Sirius is kind of like high risk, high reward, in that if you get your counter proc, it feels so good, man. It's really snowbally and momentum based, because you get your counter proc, you're able to get double M1s off, charged M1s to do all the damage. So now with this, you're getting your thing proc. Usually you're with a melee champion, right? So you're getting the damage output increased, and you're getting the healing increased. So you kind of have an option there. So Lunar Strike can be recasted. This, I feel like this is only good versus immobile champions. So yeah. So this probably just Varish only right now, and I need to play with it more. But this Varish only. This is high risk reward. If your counter's not getting hit, it's not doing anything. It's really hard to get people to hit your counters in higher matchmaking. And this one just seems overall pretty good. Sunbath for sure. Round 2, we got Celestial Split. This was a round 1 before, and it gives you the 4-second cooldown, which is really good. I really like this one. I really like the extra heal that space gives you, and then the cooldown reduction. So the cooldown reduction is always good, and you're always trying to space on your teammate to do that double value, right? So you'll get the CDR, and you'll get the healing, and you get that added pressure on the enemy, because you're usually spacing on whoever your melee's attacking. So that's good. They didn't change anything. Lunar Strike hits restore all sunlight charges. Lunar Strike is what? E. Okay. Wait. E? Okay. This is more like a control heal. So I guess it goes with this one, or if you just need the sunlight charges. I don't know how I feel about getting more sunlight charges. I feel like instead of sitting back and having to heal, you can space and get that 18 heal and then put out the pressure, right? Whereas with the other one, it like you want to sit back and heal, and so you're not getting that value of putting out pressure at the same time. Prismatic Strike hits recharge your weapon. This is gonna be my favorite, man. This is gonna be my favorite. The fact that it's on the Sunwell kind of hurts, because it feels so good to use your R and then M1. Just the animations alone feels amazing. But so with this, you're gonna be able to do such big bursts. You space M1. Sometimes you can Q M1, right? So that's, I don't know what the damage is. That's a lot. And then you can Prismatic Strike M1 again. So you can get, if you get your trance proc, you're doing so much damage. I'm not even going to do the math. It's just so much damage. So, yeah. But the fact it's on here is crazy. But I'll probably just get this one, Social Cycle. Wow. Round 3, it looks like you're doing something to your charged M1, which is cool. So you have the Root. you have the weaken duration, and you have the damage increase. Okay. Okay. The red is cool. Not necessary, not necessary. Usually you're getting your space close enough where you can get the M1, and then, right, your any M1s afterward is 8 damage, right? So it's like, do I really need to stick on this guy for 8 damage? So I guess it could be good for the space M1, then throw on your stone, but then you're not getting the double value on your weaken, right? So probably not this one. Maybe this one. Probably not this one. Weaken duration is always good. Weaken is really strong, so. But I wouldn't take it versus like a Lucy or maybe even like an Iva team because they have dispels. So their main goal is to not have weaken on them, right? And they have dispels. So versus those two teams, probably not these two. And then increased damage. So if you have this increased damage and then you have prismatic strike and they're hitting your trance, holy, that is ridiculous damage, man. Ridiculous burst, ridiculous. Round 4, you're healed for 6 health, but now that's just a healing thing. Reduce the cooldown lunar strike. Your weapon recharges 30% faster. 30% faster, probably, right? So they got rid of the defensive cooldown, which is it was like take 30 or 20% reduced damage when you're at 30% less life. So I like that one. But your weapon recharges probably this one, right? Maybe this one. This is again where you're sitting back and you're healing, right? I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I like the sit back and heal. I like space in and get there to put out the pressure. If you have to sit back and heal, you're doing it wrong. So this could be good. Probably this one. Round 5, Astral Beam Snares, Sunstrike, deals 12 damage, knocking on his back. This is probably not that good because if you knock them back, you have to try to rotate your beam anyways. And Snare is probably good. You're throwing bananas anyways. You're throwing bananas and using your R's, so. And you can be using your X space, so. Sirius seems like he's going to be really good, I feel like, for burst damage. For burst damage. And burst healing. He's going to be bursty, man. Bursty. Sunbursty. Ooh. This goes with the lore. Good job, SLS. Sunlight. Poloma. Core changes. Ghost Wolf. Just a PSA. Paloma's one of my least played in 2s. I play her a lot in 3s, but, you know, we're just kind of looking at this, like, I guess from an overall standpoint. So, Ghost Wolf no longer deals soulbind damage, but still applies a soulbind effect. So, this thing. So it doesn't do... so what's that mean? Does that mean it's not doing 20, 16, 12 anymore? Does that mean it's not bouncing to the middle orb? So that's one thing that was annoying to play against Poloma is her mid control is really strong, especially versus melee that are on the orb. So if that's the case, that's a huge nerf, right? Huge nerf. Fix a typo. Ooh, really nice. No longer deals soulbind damage. Someone said something. So the 2016-12 isn't binded? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, they need to nerf the bouncing. I'm sorry. The bouncing distance on Poloma Wolf is so long. So long. Okay. Whatever. Other side turns the target invisible for the duration. This is how it was in BLC. Ghost Wolf returns to you after final attacking you for 12 health and reducing the cooldown by 2 seconds. This is a buff, right? 2 seconds? That wasn't before. 20 health. 12 health. Ugh. Ooh. Okay. I'm not sure. Teleporting Spirit Guide resets the cooldown of Spirit Rift. That could be good. This would allow you to, you know, double XQ, basically 50% energy to get your, so you XQ, maybe it hits the panic, maybe it doesn't, you space, and then you can XQ again, so, It adds a little different mind game, I guess, to her level 1. So before, what would you get? You'd get either other side or root on heal. I always got this one because I just can't heal myself 14. This one seems really good too. Other side turns the target invisible. I don't know, man. I don't play enough Poloma to know the ins and outs, so we'll just go over it. But 12 health, 2-second cooldown. Okay. Ghost Wolf inflicts a root. I know a lot of people take that. I don't know if they take it because the elements are bad or because it's good. This is good probably versus melee matchups. Spirit increases your movement speed by 40%. This synergizes well with the Vengeful Spirit. So you could get, you know, it seems like it increases her survivability a lot more. So damage that you take as Poloma will stick more because you can't heal yourself, but you should have more options to not take that initial damage, you know. So because, you know, you get your Q with the movement speed, you space, you get your Q with the movement speed again. I mean, 40%, that's pretty long. So that's a pretty a lot. Pretty a lot. Okay. Ally effect with Sphere Guide takes 50% damage. Any effect. So they combined this Phantasm and Revenant, right? Or a little bit of each of them. I like this one for the 50% damage reduction, but it's like you're not getting double value. It's either like on your ally or on the enemy. On your ally or on your enemy. So. And is invisible just stealth or is it immaterial? Probably just stealth, right? Round 3, Ghostly Strike. Spear Guy damage increased from 12 to 16. This is your space, right? So space increase. What? 60%. That's a lot, isn't it? I feel like 60% is a lot. Because Jade had like a 25% increase. And then more damage. So this is another, you know, doing damage and knocking back is also like a survivability thing, right? Because you want to put damage on melee people or people on top of you so they can't just train you and build up that free energy. So that's gonna be good. Other side moon speed increase. Meh. I don't think that's good. And then Pixie deals full damage and healing. Full damage and healing? Deals full damage and healing. Same thing, right? I think this was like the go-to. But maybe this one? I don't know. Because you kind of have the same effect here with the full damage, right? You're putting out that full damage with your R. So it's like that's how you're dealing with the pressure now, is you're popping your R when someone's on you and you're just putting the deeps into them and then they have to back off. Where this is like you're putting 16 damage into them and then knocking them back. So I still think Pixie Dust will probably be better here, but 60% knockback might be very large, I guess. Round 4, we have Shimmering Bond. Spirit Link increases your healing. Return to the other side, heals self. This is a round 4 one now. It was round 1 before. That kind of tells you how strong it was, right? Wait, does it? No. Because round 4... Is round 4 supposed to be more powerful? No, because you sometimes in games you don't get to round 4, right? I think the 15%, 20% damage increase. I don't know. I'll have to let a more experienced Poloma player tell you what's up. But usually I just go with the heal right now as I go. So round 5, usually just go with the Spirit Link and Soulbind. This is second impact is really hard to land without some good stuff. So all right. So overall, Poloma, it seems like there's some rights that you can take that increase her survivability. And when I say that, you increase your survivability by not taking the damage. but she still has that problem of self-heal where you need to have good positioning. Yeah. Probably overall, I don't know. I can't tell if it's a buff or nerf. I can't tell if it's buffs or nerfs until good players play it long enough and I play against it. So we'll just look at it face value. Alright, Bakko. Bakko M1 now reduces the cooldown of Blood Axe by 0.5 seconds. So it looks like they are what? Reduce the cooldown of Blood Axe. So damage reduced from Blood Axe. No longer, okay, no longer has a snare, that's good. Cooldown increase, that's good. Oh, now if they just reduce the range on it a little more. So Blood Axe is his like poke ability basically. So no longer will you see Bakko's, for the most part, trying to well, you'll see them outrange range, but range have more time to put in damage between the poke, I guess. Right, so that usually what happens is the Bakko and the ranged, and Bakko is spamming his M2s, and as ranged you only have 2 seconds or less to get in. So to get into range, which you have to get closer than Bakko does, get your poke out and then get back out. So now you have more time, so it's less punishing, I guess. And then the fading snare, I was just like really annoying. His X space leaps to target location, dealing 8 damage and capping for 2.5 seconds. What's his space do now?
My axe is sharp and shield strong.
Stomp the ground, inflicting in cap. What's this now? Leaps to target location. So before you had to use your movement ability to get the stun, right? That seems really bad. Now you can use your energy to get, you still have your movement ability and you still get a stun. That seems better. Better. Dealing 8 damage. What's this one? Nothing. So it does a little more damage and you get space on it. 2.5 seconds, 3.5. Also, one thing that you notice with all of this is that they're nerfing CC. You know, CC is being reduced, which is a good thing for sure. Bakko new Battlerite tree. I honestly do not know what Bakko's take, but I do know that the most annoying ones take in cap on their shield bash and then take the super long shield bash range. It pisses me off because the knockback into walls is just the most annoying thing ever for the in cap. So I don't know what they're moving around here, so we can just kind of go and see. So now the snare is on a Battlerite, so you have to take the Battlerite to get the snare on your Blood Axe, and you don't need max charges, it looks like. So you just get a 3.5 snare every 3.5 second on your M2. Otherwise, you can take the Bulwark, can be recasted to bash enemy for end the weekend. That was before. Increases max range by shield dash by 30. Reduces cooldown by 2 seconds. What's shield dash? Is that the one that brings you into the wall? Okay. So it's either a choice between weakening the target, having the snare on your M2 for zoning, probably more likely, and the max range. Okay, I like that. I think I like that. I don't like the huge range on shield dash, but the huge range on shield dash, it was basically like, okay, they build up their charges, they dash you into the wall, and then they M2 you for the snare. So it's like the snare and the in cap at the same time. It was like so hard to get away from, I guess. So if you got hit into a wall, it was like goodbye to, like, you know, 50% of your life. Okay. So now we have another Blood Axe, heals for 4 health, plus 2 bonus health per weapon charge. So it's just like survivability. Shield Dash inflicts a 1 second stun when slamming into the wall. So it's no longer an in cap, it's a stun. Okay, so what's that mean? Where's the Battlerite? Battlerite. 1.2 second in cap. What's the difference between a stun and an in cap? I know that a stun you can't take. You can take damage and you'll still do it, right? Isn't that worse? A stun is worse than an in cap because you can just be taking damage throughout the whole 1 second without it breaking. Ugh. Ugh. That means they can still do the stun into the in cap into the wall into ultimate. That is the most annoying thing ever. I'm pissed. Okay. Valiant Leap causes your next war act to deal 10 bonus damage. They're just picking this one. Why wouldn't you pick this one? Okay. War axe hits reduces the cooldown of Bulwark by 1 second. Whatever. I'm salty. Violent Leap grants 33% damage reduction to self. That one people get. War Shot increases your movement speed. And what's the War Shot? The R. People spam R all the time, so I could see this one being used. This one probably not as much. This one is good for healing for your ally. Bulwark increases move speed by 30%. Bullet X hit reduces the cooldown by 0.5. Increase probably the energy game, man, because Bakkos love their ultimate. You know what I mean? Bakko loves the ultimate. So, round 5, stun duration, shield absorb. Why won't you get the stun? Everyone loves the stun. Stun, stun, stun. Stun, stun, stun. Okay. 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 I like the fact that they nerfed his M2, right? So he can't be at a range and stuff. And then, but the thing that I'm okay with him poking me with a 16 axe, I guess, every 2 seconds because there's at least I can kind of play around it. But getting stunned into a wall and then being ulted is kind of hurts my life and my soul. So, okay. Varish. My Varish play is not very good. So we're going to go pretty fast over this one. Because honestly, I don't even know his abilities very well. So, Varish implies in gods because shot stuns all nearby for 0.5 seconds. That's on application, so it's good versus melee. Implies corruption. Doesn't corruption give you damage increase? Is that what it does?
Let our powers
Corruption. Nope. Reduces damage and healing done. Okay. That's okay. Hand Judgment bounces towards the second tower, dealing 8 damage. What's Hands of Judgment? This one. Okay, that's cool. Would you trigger second tower? I've never liked double cast on Would you? Never liked it. So this one seems really good, man. If you're landing your M2s, it already does a huge bomb, and so now you can get the projectile to hit 2 people. Because when you shatter it, it does like a shit ton of damage in the silence, right? So round 2, silence duration increase. Okay, that's pretty good. It's almost doubling it, or it is doubling it. Increases movement speed. What's Inhibitor's Guard? The shield. And damage output by 15%. Ooh, that could be good, man, because you can put your Inhibitor's Guard on other people. So I could see that being better in 3s, for sure. It's still good in 2s. Shield Iron still grants the full effect. What's Corruption? Corruption. What's that mean? So you can just keep shattering. Consumes corruption to heal you. Oh, it heals you? Okay. I don't know if it's good or not. Would you inflict judgment? Okay. Shatter gains 1 additional. This was on like round 1 before people usually got it. Increases your shield. Okay. I don't know how I feel about stacking stuff on your counters, man, because a lot of people don't a lot of people don't hit counters, so if you're not getting your counters hit, you're already wasting your potential, and if you're putting Battlerites onto it, it makes it a lot harder. So, Increasing your shield is always good. So 14 more damage. Wait, absorbs 14 more damage. So it's 42. So with this one, it's like it's getting close to Alk Shield, man. And Alk Shield is really strong. Alk Shield is 50 damage. So that seems pretty good, man. And the Shatter is always good. More Shatter. So increased movement speed, meh. Consuming Judgment reduces your shield. Seems good. Judgment Corruption are active on the same target. Their effects increase. I don't even know what this means. What does that even mean? When Judgment and Corruption are active on the target, blah 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 blah, and hand renew both effects. What is the Hand of Judgment? Oh. Oh, okay. So you get both buffs or debuffs on the enemy team, and then you just have to hit your M1 right to refresh the dot. Okay, and increases their effects. That seems really good, right? Doesn't that seem really good? Yeah, I think so. Powers combined can hit allies, healing for 14. Ooh, is this what it does now? It does. Oh, okay. Well, I did not know that. Sweet. Ashka. God, Ashka moved to tier 1. What's Wildfire? Wildfire. This thing launches one additional. No one got that. No one got that. Why would you ever get that? People get Blaze and then Fire Reward, right? Okay. Time between Firestorm bolts has been slightly reduced. Firestorm. It's this one. Okay. It just makes it harder to dodge. It's already hard to dodge, man. It's already hard to dodge. So whatever. Blaze movement speed bonus reduced. This is really big to 30%. So basically after an Ashka spaces, like you can maybe land like an auto or something on them, you know, because the movement speed just allows for so much kiting. So basically you'd space in as Ashka, get in their face, and then you could just walk out with your 50% bonus. So now it's 30%, it's less, so I guess I'll have to play against it to see how useful that is. I mean, it's obviously a nerf, but I don't know how much of a nerf. 30% is still pretty big. Fix a bug that caused a fireball caster during Blaze to have the same range and speed as Firestorm. So, is the range on Fireball, is that shorter than Firestorm? It has to be, right? I'm guessing it is. So now it's harder to hit his Blaze M1. Okay. Lava Punch. Static cooldown reduction increased from 1 second to 1.5. What's Lava Punch? Lava Punch, Lava Punch, Lava Punch. This one. No one got that. No one's going to get that. They're still going to get the space ones, right? Ashka's still strong, man. Ashka's still strong. It might be a little bit harder. He has a little less time he has more time where you can hit him, I guess. Because this isn't going to be guaranteed dodging anymore, right? Hopefully. But everything else is like, meh. Okay. Croak, Deceit. If the attack is negated, counter. Croak non enters Camouflage. That's how it should be, right? In-cap duration reduced from... This is them just nerfing CC across the board. So, I'm okay with that. Movement speed increased to 25% from 30, or 30% from 25 to 30%. So obviously a buff. It's increased to 30 now. Okay. I think a lot of people. I don't play Croak, but I think a lot of people got the movement increase on your stealth allows you to be more unpredictable in stealth, right? Because you have more time to get to a different target, to swap targets. So I think that's why it was always good. So now it's just a little better. Haste increased from 30 to 40%. What's haste? Momentum. This one. Do people get that one? I don't know. Okay. Freya. This is really good. Freya was so annoying for like the triple in caps, so now she can't do the triple in caps consecutively, right? So now it's reworked. You get the bonus damage on your space and a snare and static. So you can like in cap, and then you have to apply static again at in cap because, what's it say? Because you no longer have that auto. Like, I think I would have been... No, I wouldn't have been. I was going to say, I think I would have been fine if, like, you used your M1 after your X and you wasted it, but I like this better. Just get rid of that, man. It wasn't fun to play against. Just in-capped, 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 you know. So this, a lot... You can still be annoying with your control and your damage output, but you have... The opponent has a little bit of time to react or do, you know, something to counteract what you're doing. So that's good. Overcharge can only trigger once. What's overcharge? Freya. Okay. Overcharge. This one. Plus stack on nearby enemies and applies a 20 shield. It's electric shield. Triggering electric shield looks like static on nearby. Oh, your Q? Okay, you could trigger that more than once? Holy. This is like a nerf to Freya in 3s, right? Because in 3s she did work with her protection. So it can only be triggered once. I don't know how you triggered it twice. I don't really care, but we're good to go. It can't be reapplied. Okay. When landing after spring, do 12 damage to enemies in air, and he's affected by static or stunned for first second. Charged lightning reworked. What's charged lightning? Oh, it's an X ability, isn't it? Wait. Charged lightning reworked. Charged strike? Help! There it is. While spring is active, your next blast inflicts static and a 1-second fading snare. When you landing after spring, do 12 damage and he's in air. Infected or stun. So you get like a half-second stun instead of a snare. Okay. Everyone gets twin hammers anyways, right? It's like, whatever. I think so. Everyone gets twin hammers for the CC chain. I have a rocket booster's haste increased from 50 to 65%. Okay. Snare duration increased. That's a buff. Cool. No, my Lucy, no. This is needed, man. This is needed for sure. They're obviously reducing CC again, which I'm perfectly fine with. And they're making Petrify not brain dead for the most part. You have to actually hit the teammate. So you'll still get the AoE if you hit your Petrify. So instead of actually having to, before I could just kind of throw it in the general direction and you'd get it. So but now I have to actually hit it. So I'm okay with that. I think I would like to see more of a nerf regarding like the cast time or projectile speed or something, just so you can react to it. It's really hard to react to right now. So but at least this makes it a lot less brain dead. It's still pretty strong. Still really strong. Battlerite, Sealed Fate. What is that, older? What is that, my friend?
I tend to the cycle.
Older. What am I even looking for? Sealed Fate, this one. Wait, this one. Wait, this one. Wait, this one. This one. This one. This one. Reduce income by 20%. Okay. I usually get this one, right? I don't know if 5% is enough to make me switch. I would like to see, maybe I'm just bad with older, I like to see his Petrify a little easier to hit. Maybe I'm just bad with him. Pearl, fix the bug, start with or staff charge by using dive. I never used it. But you can still jump as soon as the round starts and just mount up, you'll just lose a little positioning. So a little Shifu nerfs, damage increased from M1. So his damage is a little more on his M1 than on his M2. So that's, you know, it's a pretty big nerf because, you know, the strength of, was it a really big nerf? Yeah, it's a pretty big nerf. Is it? Yeah, it's kind of big. Yeah, it's pretty big. Because the strength of Shifu, right, was his M2. It was his ability to get the orb when you needed to, and it was his ability to get into your recovery HP pretty easily. So now that the damage is on the M1, it's something that as a healer you can heal up pretty easily. I don't know how much 1 is, but okay. But him, it's going to be a little bit harder to take the orb. I don't know what the math is, but there's going to be a little more math involved. So maybe you have to do an extra M1 before your M2 or something like that. But it means that he's not going to easily get into your recovery HP more. So incapacitate during duration, so they're nerfing CC, and healing reduce on his mantra. Okay. What else we got here? Battlerites. I'd like to see on Shifu, I'd like to see some of the mechanics toned down a little bit that really good Shifus that can abuse. So, like wall mechanics, like being able to jump to a wall with your javelin if you miss, or if not even if you miss, even if you're just aiming for it, right? I think that's it's a mechanic that really good Shifus can abuse, right? And that's there for casual players, so I don't feel bad when they miss, basically. There's also like the M2 giving you a small dash can be abused by really good players. And I think someone said that it takes off snares as well. So, little stuff like that, man. Can be abused by really good players. Tell ya, Battlerite's on the move. Cooldown reduction increased from 0.25 to 0.3. What's on the move?
Life is rough, so you gotta be tough, babe.
Shut up. Raise rooming hits, reduce the cooldown of haste by 2.5. Okay. I don't play enough Taya to know, but I always think like the energy gain is the best, right? More energy is always really good. Tracking duration increased from 0.4 to 0.5. What's tracking? Tracking. This one. Extends the shield duration. I don't know what people usually get, but. Whew. I think that was it, man. I think that was it for all the changes. You know, a lot of them seem interesting for sure, and it seems like they addressed a few of the issues, and they made possibly for more choices in Battlerites for some people, but it's something that I kind of have to play against to actually feel out. You know, reading it and playing against it is two different types of, I guess, analysis, and so we'll see, man. We'll see. Private matches, non-host players, that's good. This other stuff is just okay. That's good stuff. Okay, good stuff. Just bugs, ability-related HUDs. Charge for the weapon. Allied AoE for colorblind people. Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for the patch rundown for 0.8. Man, it took a while. Kind of just winged it. So, if you made it through the whole thing, thanks, guys. And